Alright, so in light of my last video about me working in hotels and how all that was shaking out, I thought to myself that I had actually a lot of jobs. I've been a lot of places, I've done a lot of things. So I wanted to talk about another one of the more interesting jobs that I've had. Again, this is a warning, right? This is kind of a touchy subject. It's a very unconventional job, and if you have a problem with bodies and dead people and me describing them and what it's like caring for them, then you should probably move on to another video. You saw the title, you should get up out of here. But for those who can stomach it, I did want to talk about my time as a body removal technician, working at a mortuary, funeral home. So first off, I wanted to talk about what the job actually entails, which is the removal of deceased persons from various places. We'll get into what places they're come from, the techniques that we use to remove these people, and the misconceptions that we still face in the industry today. So I want to start off with the misconceptions. First off, we're not using hearses. Okay, it's not something that we do. It's not something that we use. One, because the respect of the deceased person. You know what I mean, and for the family also. It's already a big thing when someone dies in your family, especially when we're doing coming to the house when they have home hospice or something like that. So it's a pariah pretty much, like, oh shit, this person just died, let me broadcast everything. So to stop that, we've moved away from hearses in the industry, and we've decided that, well, not we've decided, but it's become apparent where I worked at, we were using vans, like minivans, do the trick. We had a Suburban, big SUVs, full-size SUVs type stuff, trucks, type of thing. Also, no body bags. We don't use body bags anymore. We come in, put them on a stretcher, and we cover them with a cover. Sometimes we use the covers provided for us by either the hospital of the family, and we use that to cover them as well. But we put our own cover over the body, because when we take them out, we want to have respect. That's the big thing about it, just the respect for the family and how we do things. I wanted to also get into the places where we get the bodies, right? So the three main places where we get the bodies, I got notes here, are nursing homes, which is where we get them from a lot. Hospitals, which is probably the top ones, are the hospitals, the nursing homes, then hospice, whether that is home hospice or in the hospital hospice, but they usually go to the morgue in the hospital, so I can just kind of count that as a hospital. And crime scenes, okay, and that's some of the more gruesome work. So the easiest, I would say, would be the morgue trips at hospitals, because it's really, you don't see the family. You're just dealing with security staff and personnel. You got to fill out a little paperwork, and then you're off to the funeral home to get the body processed. So yeah, that's probably the easiest. The hardest for me would be the in-home pickups, home hospice pickups. Got to be really respectful, really caring, really empathetic towards the family. You got to look your best. You can't come in there looking as shabby as I do right now. You got to, dress up to make sure that, hey, the first impression is always the most important. When they see you for the first time, they want to think, okay, wow, this is a professional doing a professional job. I'm leaving my loved ones in the care of somebody who I know can do the job, who is empathetic towards me and the family. And it takes time also, these hospice pickups. They take a lot of time, and they can get awkward, and they can get emotional, and yeah, it's just that's when the work becomes difficult, at least for me. Now, crime scene pickups are not really all that bad, at least for me. I'm not really bad about blood or gore or vomit, spit, feces, anything like that. But crime scene pickups can really get people out of the industry. That would be a big thing because you could pick up a suicide, victim, gunshot to the head, brain matter everywhere, and you got to pick up as much as you can. That's just how it is. You got to pick up as much as you can and bring it back to the mortuary so their family can bury what's left. A lot of suicide victims. People don't go out with poison. Okay, they don't poison themselves. They use guns. That's just the fact of the matter. A lot of crashes, car crash victims, drunk drivers. Unfortunately, people drink and drive, or they get distracted while driving, icy road conditions, you name it, whatever. We got to go up there and we got to get them. Okay, got to get them. Once the police has done their job, they've collected all the evidence that they need. Then we come in and we take the body or whatever's left. Take as much as we can, and then we take it back to the morgue, and they can get it processed, and the family can either cremate them or have a funeral procession, whatever they want to do. The nursing home is pretty much more like the hospital, but it's just not the family there. Instead of dealing with security staff, we're dealing with nurses and stuff. So I also wanted to talk about how we handled the bodies. Okay, so when we come in anywhere, okay, as long as there's a body there that we can get, and we're not putting them in like these hazmat bags, because there's so little of them left. If it's a full body person, we take them, we put them on a stretcher, the same stretcher that the ambulance use. We take them, we have a slider, we take them, put them on a slider, put them on a stretcher, raise the stretcher up, and they're ready to go. We use covers to cover their body properly. We have our own covers that we put over the deceased person. Usually, if it's a family pickup or something like that, usually people die in cover. Okay, so we take the cover that they use with the permission. Usually, we have permission from the nursing homes and everything like that, and they let us use the cover. We pick them up, and then we put our own cover on there, and we put a pillow under their head. That is, I think, a very important thing that these professionals should be doing. One, it just looks better, because when you die, people usually dying in pillows. They in bed, dying in pillows, and their body is real stiff, like you stiffen up when you die. So when you're laying in the back, your head is kind of propped up a little bit on that pillow, and once you remove the pillow, your head will still be just propped up. So it's good to have a pillow or two on hand to lay them on there, so it looks better and their head's not just floating in the air. And then we pretty much just take them out, and that's that's pretty much the job. Honestly, aside from paperwork, I will say though that the morgues in hospitals do have body bags. They do, but that's not us. That's not the mortuary. That's not the mortuary. That's not the funeral home. That's not us. That's the hospital. The hospital that we used to go to, they had white body bags. I never saw a black body bag. Never in the industry have I seen a black body bag. Even like the hazmat bags that we use for crime scene cleanups, they're like yellow, really bright yellow, and they say hazmat on them. Some of them are orange sometimes, but yeah. That's pretty much it. The psychological effect on the job really didn't take too much of a toll on me. I never really gave a fuck about like dead bodies or anything like that. My first time doing it, I was more like excited about seeing the dead body, and worried that, oh shit, I hope I don't drop them. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I'm thinking. Like, oh man, if I drop these people, Jesus, that's gonna be a bad look. They'll probably fire me on the spot. But the thing that got me was the damn hospice. When they're at home hospice, that is really what got me, because you could see the emotion. It's like you walk into just a pit of emotion as soon as before you even get into the house, and before you even knock on the door, you sitting there and you can feel it You can hear the weeps, the moans, the crying, the desperation, the despair, the loss. It's all there, and you're walking into it, and you gotta have a professional face, a professional attitude. You gotta have that empathy, and it took a toll on me. Every time I would do it, it just took a toll on me, and it was difficult. I had to say, that definitely was the most difficult part of the job, because it's different every time. You don't know what these families have been going through, and you can see, like, you might not know what they've been going through, but you can see that they've been going through it for a while. You can see they tired. They're tired, and that right there is what got me most of the time. You just look on them and like, man, they've been going through this shit for months, maybe years, in hospice, hoping and wishing that their loved ones will get better, and finally it was decided, maybe from someone up above, maybe not, maybe the universe decided, who knows, but they didn't get better. They had to call me to go wheel them out and then have a funeral or a cremation. That's what happened. And it's like, I don't know, just that profound grief, it's that profound sorrow, it's something about it that just, it hurts. It hurts to see. It hurts to remember, honestly. It hurts to experience. But I don't know. That's just how the industry is. You gotta go out and do it. You gotta go out and get it. Yeah, that's pretty much it though. My advice to you: don't go in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad industry, but there's a lot better things you could be doing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot better things you could be doing. I wouldn't do it. Like, I wouldn't do it again. I'll probably do cremation. I could do cremation, I think, because the cremation, it seemed a lot chiller. You feel me? But like the actual, like, it's just, the psychological effect of the job is not worth it, I don't think. Because if you either like one or two people, like, either you don't do good with blood and dead bodies and shit like that, or you do good with that, but you're not good at the emotional stuff. And I'm not good at the emotional stuff, but I was good with it. The crime scene cleanup part. It's very rare that you get somebody who's cool with both of them. It's hard to detach. It's very hard to detach. So, I mean, if you think it's like a really cool job, I mean, I guess go for it, but don't do it. That's my advice to you. Probably just don't go into the industry unless that's what you really want to do. You want to make a living out of it. You want to get a business and stuff like that. You want to get a degree. You really like deep into it. If you're not, then don't do it. But that's just my 2 cents about it. I have a lot of other jobs that I've worked. None as interesting. I think that's the most interesting job that I've had. But if I think of anything else, or if I want to tell another story, I'll get right with you guys. So, peace out.